Hello and welcome back to a slightly late David 67 Celtic News YouTube channel video. I've been waiting all day to see if something was more concrete was going to happen in Celtic News, but having not done a video for a couple of days, I thought I would do a wee quick update just to keep all the David 67 viewers and subscribers up to date with what's happening or not happening in and around Celtic at the start of this week. Before we crack on, please do have a wee think about clicking the subscribe button. Keep those numbers pushing up towards 700, which would be great for the start of the new season. As always, please do consider clicking the like button. And there is also a comment section for pleasant, polite, informative, debating and discussion points. Also open and available. And do remember there is also a current online poll through the community section, just looking to see whether there is an audience for videos from time to time about Celtic players of yesteryear, with a bit of highlight videos, stats, and a bit of their history at Celtic, etc. So do feel free to vote in that poll as well if you haven't already. And as always, there is a daily Celtic trivia question. Now, so the main news linked to Celtic is that Celtic are said to be making inquiries about signing Dara O'Shea from Burnley. O'Shea went from West Brom to Burnley last season for £7 million, and so it would most likely take a bid of that or even more to take him from Burnley to Celtic. He is 25-year-old Ireland international, 26 caps for Ireland, 6'2", 6'2.5" in height. He is basically centre back, although he can play at right back, and his contract with Burnley does not run out until June 2027. So again, Burnley will be in no rush to sell him. He has 61 games in the English Premier League, with last season 37 games for Burnley, 4 goals and 4 assists, and prior to that was at West Brom, 107 games for West Brom, 7 goals, 2 assists. His season rating last year for Burnley, 6.88. And so pretty decent ratings there. Looking at more detailed defensive ratings, very good ratings and success for clearances, excellent stats for winning aerial duels with an almost 100% record, which is obviously very impressive. However, his tackling and interception skills are quite poor in terms of overall rating, as is his ability at blocking shots. Now, Burnley, of course, don't have a manager currently, and so I would not imagine that Burnley will be selling O'Shea anytime soon. However, it's stated that Brendan Rodgers is very, very impressed with O'Shea, very keen to bring O'Shea to the club, and it's also worthy of mentioning that O'Shea is a lifelong Celtic fan. He is very good friends, apparently, with Mikey Johnston, Liam Scales, and Adam Ida, and was said to have been in the crowd for the cup final win against Rangers back in May as a guest of his 3 Ireland international teammates. So I think it's a name to keep in your minds. It doesn't look to me that Celtic and Burnley will be doing any business for O'Shea in the near future, as I'm pretty sure whoever takes over at Burnley from Vincent Kompany will want to run a rule over his whole squad. Celtic, of course, have their long-running need for a Joe Hart replacement. We seem to have been linked to virtually every goalkeeper under the sun. The most recent two goalkeepers Celtic are said to be inquiring about: Martin Dubravka of Newcastle, 35-year-old Slovakian international. He had a good Euros campaign, which ended when England beat Slovakia 2-1 in extra time. So Dubravka is leaving the Euros, coming back to Newcastle, and apparently will be having discussions with Eddie Howe, the manager at Newcastle, as to where he fits into Howe's plans. However, it would look like Dubravka has maybe dropped to number 3 or number 4 goalkeeper at Newcastle, as they have brought in 2 goalkeepers just recently. And so it looks like Dubravka will be moving on. There are rumours that Newcastle would be looking for £1 million, which is very similar to the fee that we paid for Joe Hart when we took him from Spurs 3 years ago. The other goalkeeper Celtic are said to be linked with Peter Vindal Jensen. There are stories that Celtic have put in a bid for him. There are stories that Celtic have made simply inquiries about him. And there are some stories which are implying there's not been any contact at all with Vindal Jensen or Prague for his signature. And so it's yet another of these stories and speculations and rumours, and there is no substance, it would appear, to it at the moment. Other name that's being linked to Celtic, and again I think this is a rather fanciful link, is 18-year-old Costa Rican player Andy Rojas, who is the youngest player at the Copa America at the moment. Plays in his native Costa Rica for a club known as Herediano. His career stats there are 10 goals in 55 matches. And he has a couple of Costa Rican caps with 1 goal for them, and is primarily a centre forward, but also plays left wing and right wing. And so there would be obviously a role for him at Celtic. However, according to several websites and interviews with the Herediano club, there has been interest from Major League Soccer, Spain, Portugal, and Belgium in signing Rojas. Absolutely no indication that Celtic have actually made a formal inquiry or an actual bid for him. Some websites are saying that he would be available for £700,000 or £800,000. However, the interviews I read today with the actual club are suggesting they're looking for a fee of £4 million for Rojas. I don't think signing an 18-year-old Costa Rican for £4 million is going to be a terribly good option, and I think he is almost certainly, given the very positive press he's had at the Copa America, he'll be off to Portugal, Belgium, Spain, or Major League Soccer. I think all those 4 would have much better chance of signing him than him coming to Celtic. Speaking of the Copa America, Alistair Johnston is the only Celtic player still at Copa America, as America and Cameron Carter-Vickers were knocked out yesterday, and so Alistair Johnston will be playing in the quarterfinals at the weekend, and we'd expect that Carter-Vickers will have a few weeks off, and so should be available for the American tour towards the end of July. And I would guess also Alistair Johnston will be joining up with Celtic for the American tour to get himself fully into pre-season games, and then the first game of the season against Kilmarnock at Celtic Park. No positive news regarding Matt O'Reilly transfer, except, and this is positive for me, nobody has put in an actual bid for him. There are said to be an ever-increasing number of clubs said to be inquiring about him, such as Chelsea, Newcastle, West Ham, Southampton, Everton. Looking at all those clubs' websites, all of them are indicating that their club is in negotiations with Celtic for Matt O'Reilly. Some of the clubs appear to be considering a £20 million bid, some 25 million, but the stories coming out of Celtic were that they have set an asking price of somewhere around 40 million euros, which would be 34 million pounds. So it looks like none of the clubs actually are looking at giving Celtic the amount of money they are asking for. Vata appears to be on his way out of the club. He is reportedly down with his agent talking with Watford in the English Championship with a view to signing for them. Vata's agent has been talking about there being 15 clubs, all of whom have put in a concrete offer for him. He is out of contract with Celtic, and so all we would be able to get is a compensation fee from the signing club. No further updates on the Paulo Bernardo deal, except for he appears to be moving further and further down the order at Benfica, as Benfica are apparently in the process of signing another midfielder to add to their squad, which of course will push Paulo Bernardo further and further down their pecking order of midfielders, and no updates at all on potential transfers away from Gustav Lagerbielke, Yuki Kobayashi, or Mikey Johnston, or any other Celtic players. There are quite a lot of stories suggesting that Celtic might be looking at loaning out Yang, our talented South Korean winger, to another Scottish Premiership team, and I suspect also a similar season-long loan for Kwon. The central midfield South Korean will also be arranged for next season. Looks like Celtic are looking at a loan deal for Yang rather than a transfer away for Yang. So just one wee final thing to mention. Celtic are running a fan survey online at the moment. Takes about 15-20 minutes to do. There is a prize apparently for one person who fills in the survey. It covers lots of different things. Basically, the club asking us fans, is there anything they can do better, improve at the ground, improve merchandising, TV, social media, etc. Also, it does ask about how you get your Celtic news, what channels you watch, what websites you go to, etc. And so, I just thought I would mention it to you in case you do want to fill in the survey and that you are aware that they are currently doing a club survey at the moment online. So that finishes things off for today. Hopefully tomorrow there'll be some actual concrete Celtic news rather than all these speculations and rumours and stories that never seem to actually get anywhere in the end. And so for today, thanks for watching, thanks for listening, goodbye, and hail, hail.